Yeah. Yeah.
Alright guys, so we're back on the rear wheel of my Supermoto build. As you know from the last video, I was having issues with bearing sizes and stuff like that. If you didn't see the last video, go check it out. It's worth watching. So let's get to getting the new bearings in. All I did is I took a punch, knocked out the seals, and drove the bearing out the bottom, flipped it over, drove it out this side. So now we can see what we have. Right here are your two old bearings. As you can see, the inside diameter was a little bit smaller than we needed. It was a 15 mil, and of course we've got 20s. So now I've got the right size bearing for the axle that I'm running. As you can see, I had to grind it. The only bearings I could find had this ridge on them, and they were the right size outside diameter, inside diameter, and thickness, but they had the ridge. So I just ground the ridge off. They'll be fine. And then I also had to order a tube. I just bought aluminum. You really should have got steel, but it was the right 20 mil that I needed. And I had to make a new center collar. This goes in between your outer bearings. And then I've got two new seals to replace those that were the wrong ones. So let's get putting the bearings in. We can start with just one side. And what I like to do is find a socket that fits that. For me, it's going to be a thick-walled 24. Fits in there nice. I'm going to drive this bearing in. With that bearing drove in, seated, I can take my new seal, put that into place, and then come over to the other side. Remember to drop the tube in first before I drive the new bearing in. And there you are. Both seal, bearing, inner race on each side. Good as new. And the bonus is now I've got a spare set of bearings and seals for the front tire. And these, I had to buy 4 of each, so I've got a spare set for the rears to go with it. Now let's get it on the bike. Real quick before I do install it, I did drill and tap for a grease fitting. Is it necessary? No. Is it going to hurt? No. I mean, I know those are claimed to be sealed bearings, but grease gets in them, grease gets out of them. So if I put 4 or 5 squirts of grease into this wheel, it'll work its way in. It'll hold it in with these seals. It's not going to hurt nothing. Might last a little longer. I mean, they're Chinese bearings. They're not the greatest. Now let's get it installed. I did end up having to make a new bushing. It was about 5 thousandths wider than the one for the other set of rims to get my sprocket and brake rotors to all line up properly, but there it is. And after looking at it some, I realized the front fender is not going to work. So I ordered a CRF 50. We're going to throw that on there and see what happens. So I pulled off the stock 110 fender, and I had a CRF 50 fender kicking around, so I kind of stuck that on. And I also had to change the number plate to an old CRF 70 so it would fit a little better. Now they do make a new style CRF 50 front fender that I have ordered. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I'll give that a try and see if it looks better than what I've already got. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. Till the next video.